Hi, friends. It's me, your local empowerment coach. I am just coming on to say happy Monday and to just talk for a few minutes about something I've been thinking about a lot lately, which is discomfort. So, this is unscripted, so bear with me. I was trying to I was trying to encourage my partner to do yoga with me whenever last week, and he was rather resistant to it and tried it a bit, but I got into a few moves and was like, no, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. And stopped, which cool, that's his prerogative. But it really made me think about this concept of being okay with discomfort. And that distinguish that in yoga, if you do yoga, that distinguishing between pain and discomfort, and not going to where there's pain. There shouldn't be pain, but that there's often a lot of discomfort, and breathing into it and relaxing into it. And so I have been talking about this with clients for a while, but just wanted to jump on because I think it's really relevant in today's climate to be talking about leaning into discomfort as a coping mechanism, like a good one, like one that can help. So the more adverse we are to discomfort, the more resistance we put up, like in yoga. So if you go to do a move and then you think, this hurts, or this feels weird, or this is uncomfortable, you tense up and it actually gets harder to do. So I wanted to offer that maybe there's something similar in our thought processes around dealing with life, and acknowledging and leaning into discomfort. So, this time there's a lot of feelings that are going to come up for you, that are coming up, which are valid. And I want to encourage you to feel those feelings, but to also pay attention to what are the thoughts that are causing them. And so for a lot of us, I think the thoughts that come up when we think about discomfort are things like, I don't like this, I can't do this, this sucks, how long is this going to happen? Like, I can't manage this. When those thoughts don't help us, right? And a lot of times we can manage them. And if we were willing to acknowledge and accept that sometimes things are just going to be uncomfortable, it becomes a lot easier. I have a friend that I have had a lot of challenges understanding in the past, and have recently come to realize that we differ a lot on views of comfort and discomfort. And so a lot of my understanding now has been that this person really struggles with discomfort. They don't like trying new things. They can't handle being cold or tired very well, or feelings of uncertainty, or things not going completely as planned, or feeling awkward. And that has prevented them from a lot of things in their life, and from experiencing a lot of potentially good things as well, because of their challenges leaning into things that they can't control, and things that just might feel uncomfortable or new. And so I've been thinking about that a lot. And then I was thinking about, the context of right now, and how many things are going to be uncomfortable. There's just lots of stuff. Certainly the uncertainty is uncomfortable. Changing our lives can be really uncomfortable, having to do some things virtually instead of in person, or not being able to do certain things, or using a cloth and water instead of toilet paper, or just things that you can't control, those are really uncomfortable. And when we have those thoughts around, I can't do this, I don't like this sucks, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. But when we actually acknowledge that there's just going to be stuff I can't control, and I'm just going to be uncomfortable. Like, there's going to be things that are new, and I may not entirely like them, but maybe I can get curious about them because, they're new experiences. And even though maybe my first reaction is, I don't like this, or this is different, can I just acknowledge that, like, okay, now is the time where I maybe need to be more open to things being different. I don't know. I love the beach. Like, I love the beach. And I never understood people that didn't love the beach. And I have come to realize in the past couple of years that there's a lot of things that people deem as uncomfortable about the beach. And everybody's body's different, etc. So, I mean, everybody's level of discomfort is different too. But I think if you go to the beach and you expect to not get hot and not be wet and not have sand and things, and you really fixate on those feelings, it's going to be really uncomfortable. But if you give in to just like, I'm going to go and it's going to be hot, then I'm going to jump in the water, and then I'm going to be covered in sand, and that's like kind of uncomfortable, but then I'll just jump back in the water, and then it dries off. This happens. Or the same if you're camping. I think a lot of people struggle with camping. And the people who are good at it are people who lean into that discomfort of just like, I'm going to be dirty, and like there's going to be bugs, and I'm going to be sweaty, and I'm going to be sleeping on the floor. And for some people it's just, that's not worth, the experience isn't worth it for them to feel that. But for folks who want to be out in nature and, be somewhere in the middle of nowhere, the experience is much better when you can go in just knowing like, I'm just going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be dirty. I'm going to be like smelly, whatevs. I'm just giving up control of those things. And this is a different circumstance, and I'm just going to lean into that. I think in a lot of cases in our lives, we spend so much time trying to be in comfort. And, and I've talked about it before around trying to be comfort in our comfort zones, and how that prevents us from taking risks and prevents us from changing our lives. And I think in this case, I mean, it's slightly different, but being in our comfort zone as a form of protection, we don't necessarily have that right now. And some of us are perhaps more used to being uncomfortable. So I want to offer that at this time, maybe you spend some time trying to think about your discomfort and giving in to discomfort, which again is, I think, giving up a sense of control. That there are things you're not going to be able to control, and that's okay. There are things you can control, and those are the things you can focus on. And sometimes you're just going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be uncomfortable things about that. That's just a feeling. It's just, it's just a thought that you're having that's creating a feeling. And you can handle that. You can manage that feeling, you can feel through it, and you can perhaps try some new thoughts that create better feelings, like this is temporary, or I'm just going to lean into discomfort, or right now I'm trying something new, or these are things I can't control and I will focus on what I can. But I can see my phone is going to die, so that's my tip for today, is practice leaning into discomfort. So if you have questions about this, feel free to reach out. I'd love to chat more about it and hear about your experience. Okay, hope you're doing all right. Ciao, ciao.